Hoo-Hah Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all spookily splendid and ghoulishly well. We're coming to you now from a little wooden box theatre here in the woods. Do watch out for those creepy crawlies. They get everywhere. Watch out A&E and be prepared to be absolutely appalled as my pet fly performs his very famous cutting himself in half routine. Norman, over to you. Let's go inside. Once again, a terrible letdown, Norman. Pardon? A simple request to speak up. A gentle excuse me, perhaps. But then again, perhaps not, ladies and gentlemen. When a pardon is really begged, it can have spookier implications. And so it was with one Reginald Snotswold, an Etonian gentleman of private means and a willful glad-hander to boot. He told lies. He was a thief. He was a self-serving and ambitious lowlife with no scruples or morals. In short, ladies and gentlemen, he was a politician. Picture the scene, if you will. It was a dark and cold, blustery October night, and blonde-haired Snotswold and his poor, downtrodden wife tasked themselves with their arduous journey from their home in the tiny village of Scrumpleswick to London. Though Snotswold himself was no stranger to the fineries of life, his earnings and little extras allowed him no end of those. But for shame, when it came to anyone else, he wouldn't allow them any such luxury. And so it was on this journey. For his poor wife, Agathina, a once beautiful and talented ballerina from the north of England, now, alas, advanced in years and receding in movement, was made to walk the entirety. All 7 miles.
Come along, wife.
Snotswold snorted at her.
We'll never get here at this rate.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear, replied poor Agathina sadly as she hobbled along the dirt track. I'm such a burden to you. It must be very bothersome. Well, I'll try and quicken my pace. Although she spoke with much zest for life, it was indeed sorrowful to see that her words were uttered faster than any action she could manage with her once talented and athletic body. Years of dancing at the top, ladies and gentlemen, had taken the toll on her feet, and she was now forced to walk with the aid of 2 sticks.
Need I remind you why I need to be in London, wife?
Bellowed Snotswold, enraged at her lack of pace.
Ha! Ha!
He snorted once more, jiggling the rolls under his chin and the jelly round his middle.
I've deals to do, and people to subjugate, woman.
Just then, Agathina's sticks momentarily stuck fast in a crack in what appeared to be a huge piece of old wood in the road. Could we not have got a train, dear? She suggested softly, as she managed to free herself and move her sticks onto a gravel-like substance. She moved to a small tree stump nearby and sat down to catch her breath.
Waste me money? The idea. For your information, I've booked first-class accommodation for the return journey to Scrumpleswick,
Snotswold announced triumphantly. Oh, well, that'll be nice, replied his wife, smiling gently in surprise.
Me? Yes, it will,
Snotswold sniffed.
You'll be walking back, of course.
Reginald? Inquired his wife.
What is it now, woman?
What is that, light coming towards us?
In the distance came a loud and terrible roaring and screeching. A horrifying, unearthly noise akin in pitch and volume to metal on metal. Sparks flew amidst a ghoulish, billowing fog. A hideous whistle completing the monstrous one-eyed apparition approaching them. Pardon! What are you blithering about now? Snotswold shouted as the noise got louder and louder, closer and closer.
Oh, this isn't a road.
Blither, blather, blither, blather.
This isn't a road, dear, Agathina continued, breathlessly gazing at the flaming fiend.
Pardon! Pardon! Blather, 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 blather. I'm begging you to speak up, woman, he yelled. Can't hear a word about this awful...
Snotswold turned toward the smoke and fire-breathing monster behind him, losing his footing in the crack in a piece of wood vacated by his wife.
And then, whoosh!
The monster was gone as fast as it appeared. I was trying to tell you, it's not a road. It's a railway line, dear, twinkled Agathina, as her husband's first-class return ticket floated down and came to rest on the gravel between the tracks. Your pardon, though begged, was not granted, although things for me seem right on track. And now to our Professor Polenta, our splendid inventor. Professor, what have you been working on this week? Something suitably spooky for Halloween.
Bang, crash, bang, Excuse me. Yes, Professor Polenta here. Hello, how are you? Now, this Halloween, I have invented a ghost throbbler and ghoul mangler. I'll go and get it for you now. Oh, now, here it is, you see. Now, if you get attacked by a ghost or a ghoul, come to that, then just hit them over the head with this. And all will be well. Yes, yes. Well, anyway, I must be on my way now. As I'm going, I mustn't fall over these. What are they? I'm all right.
Yes. And now we present our brand new song, I Will Follow You Always, from our upcoming new album.
Deep fake, imitation normalcy in its place. Why now, a fateful sense of urgency you face. Love hearts and broken faces, soldiers climbing with strawberry laces. I will follow you always, yes I will. I will follow you always, yes I will. A third eye, everything in every way. You wanna die. Sad eyes, the time bomb takes your life away. Wanna die. Love hearts and broken faces, soldiers climbing with strawberry laces. I will follow you always, yes I will. Picking your conscience, waiting in doorways, yes I will.
Thank you for listening and watching. Have a hoo-ha happy Halloween, and please join us next time at the Little Wooden Box Theatre for more hoo-ha. Ooh.